When archaeologists in southern China pulled a piece of iron out of the ground, it was only 20 centimeters long. Rusted, useless looking. They almost threw it away. Then the lab ran a test and the results came back. 77.8% iron, 19.84% nickel. They ran it again and got the same result. These findings were published in May 2026, just weeks ago. Chances are you haven't heard this one yet. This wasn't normal iron. This was meteorite iron, the kind that forms inside an asteroid, cooling 1 degree every million years in deep space. The people who buried this object hadn't invented iron smelting. They were Bronze Age, no furnaces, no forges, no way to melt iron. Yet here was a processed piece of iron, shaped by human hands. Iron smelting wouldn't reach China for another 500 years, but someone in the Sichuan basin, 500 years before that, had already identified this lump of space metal, picked it up and turned it into something. So the question isn't what this axe was made of. It's who made it and how they recognized it. Welcome to Mosaic Antiquity. The axe came from a place called Sanxingdui in Sichuan, southwest China. In 1986, workers digging at a brick factory hit something their shovels couldn't break. A pit full of bronze, but not ordinary bronze, a bronze tree 4 meters tall, a gold staff, a mask with eyes that stick out 16 centimeters, like 2 pillars. Elephant tusks, things that don't belong to any known Chinese dynasty. Sanxingdui had bronze, gold, a complex belief system. But 3 things are missing. No writing, no weapons of war, and no iron. That's what makes this axe strange. It doesn't fit. The axe was found in Pit 7, one of their most important ritual pits. Buried next to the bronze sacred tree, next to elephant tusks from India. These are not ordinary objects. These are the highest status ritual goods this civilization owned. And this rusted piece of iron was among them. Under a microscope, the axe showed something unexpected. Parallel grinding marks on one side. Not natural weathering, but man-made. And the blade edge has tiny chips. Someone used this. This isn't a meteorite fragment that fell into a hole. It was picked up, modified, and used. Think about what this means. 3,000 years ago, someone in the Sichuan basin saw a piece of metal lying on the ground. It didn't look like anything else in their world. Heavier, harder. It didn't come from any rock they knew. Most people would have walked past, but this person didn't. They picked it up. How did they know it was different? It was heavier than stone. When struck, it didn't chip like flint, it dented. And it didn't rust like other metals they knew. It stayed. Someone noticed all of this and realized this was not from our world. They studied it, carried it home, found a hard stone, and began, hour after hour, rock against metal that fell from the sky. They figured out that this strange material could be shaped into something useful, and they made the earliest known iron object in southern China. How did they get it? We don't know. Sanxingdui had trade routes that stretched for thousands of kilometers. Ivory from India is proof. Maybe this lump of iron came through the same network. Or maybe someone in the Sichuan basin saw a shooting star, followed it, and found this. But here's where the story flips. Sanxingdui wasn't the only ancient civilization to find meteorite iron. All over the ancient world, people collected iron from the sky. In Egypt, 3,200 BC, iron beads worn as jewelry. Status symbols, buried with the elite, but they were just beads, worn around a neck, not held in a hand. In Anatolia, 2,500 BC, an iron dagger inlaid into a bronze handle. And just 1,000 kilometers from Sanxingdui, in the Yellow River Valley, the Shang dynasty embedded meteorite iron into a bronze axe. Ornament, inlay, accent. Every single one of them used meteorite iron the same way, as an inlay, a decoration, precious metal framed in bronze. Every one. Except Sanxingdui. They made a pure iron object. No bronze backing, no inlay, just the iron itself, shaped into a tool you could hold in your hand. And that's not just a different design choice. It's harder. Meteoric iron is nickel-rich, tougher than any bronze they worked with. No furnace, no anvil. To shape bronze, you melt it. To shape this, you work it cold for weeks. Stone against space metal. Then something stranger. After this axe was buried, the people of the Sichuan basin never made another iron object. Not one. 500 years later, iron smelting finally arrived in China, widely believed to have come from Central Asia, not from Sanxingdui. Think about how strange that is. If you can shape iron from a meteorite, wouldn't you want to find more of it? You'd look for it, you'd dig, but nothing came. The knowledge didn't spread. The technique died with whoever made this axe. And the question is why? Why did a civilization that could work iron from the sky never learn to smelt it from the ground? We don't know where the meteorite came from, which shower, which impact, which piece of the solar system. We don't know what this axe was used for. Ritual weapon, bronze working tool, something we haven't imagined? But the axe exists. Somebody made it. And that somebody lived here, in a civilization with no iron, no furnaces, and no way to know what this material was. 3,000 years ago, a person saw something fall from the sky. They didn't run. They picked it up. They turned it into this. The mystery isn't the iron. It's the person who decided to use it. Next time, in the Taklamakan Desert, they found something impossible. A 4,000-year-old woman with European features, reddish brown hair, wool and fur clothing, buried inside a boat in the middle of a desert. No cities, no writing, no trace of her people. Who were they? And how did they end up here? Subscribe to Mosaic Antiquity, and we'll see you there.